Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the 11th of June, 2017. So we just covered the anti-Sharia protests here in the United States. If you didn't see that, go back and watch it. But now we want to take you to Manchester, which, if you'll remember, was where the bombing was at the Ariana Grande concert. And we have a very interesting twist to this story.
This was the Gays Against Sharia March, United Against Hate rally in Manchester. I wanted United Together, Today and Forever, help us stop the growth of an evil, hate-filled ideology. Now, if you're a gay person, then you will recognize that, oh, let's click on it to make it bigger, that you aren't allowed to be gay.
Right.
You can be thrown off buildings and things like that. There were a lot of really neat speakers there. There was the Sikhs were aligned with Tommy Robinson. They wanted to make sure that this wasn't the EDL, that it wasn't far right.
Right.
And I want to bring you a few
videos
pieces from somebody kind of live streamed some of these. So hang on just a second. I'm going to take you to
volume. We must not respond with hate. We need to fight this with peace. There are hundreds of thousands that want to turn away from Islam. If we start hating my community, you push my community into a corner. You push them into a corner. What we need to do, what we need to do is encourage more of them to leave Islam. We are here, I'm here, not only to explain what Islam is and what it teaches, but we need to distinguish Islam and people. People are people. We can't go around hating every single individual.
And that is so important. You have to be able to distinguish between Islam and people. So with the ideology that is behind Sharia law, that is behind the political maneuvers of Islam, recognize there are billions of Muslims in the world, and you cannot hate them.
No.
You can be very angry and upset at the ideology, but you're going to win. And I'm not going to say this like, oh, love trumps hate. No, the truth trumps hate.
Exactly.
Okay, and truth in love trumps hate. So if you're doing something wrong, or if there's an ideology that is hurtful to people, I know a lot of you are angry, and your anger isn't going to get anywhere. You need to stay calm. You need to be peaceful. And you need to be able to talk to people. If people don't listen to you, that's fine. But there are going to be people who are going to listen to you, and they're only going to listen to you if you actually genuinely care about them and care about other people.
I know you don't, but some do. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what we stand against. And what I'm here for is that we are going to fight for the rights of people to leave Islam. If the freedom to leave Islam was there, Islam would collapse. It won't stand a chance.
If you had the freedom to leave Islam, it would collapse. But because it's
kind of like
if
a
you
gang.
leave, you die, it kind of stays around a little bit.
A friend of mine in Bradford for 15 years stood up openly as an apostate of Islam. He turned away from Islam and became a Christian. For 15 years he was persecuted in Bradford. He had to move on into another area. There he was also persecuted. But the top officers that were in charge there couldn't understand what was going on. They treated it as a neighborly problem. My friend last year got attacked outside his house. He was almost killed. Almost killed. Spent 2 weeks in hospital. He had a fractured knee and a fractured arm.
So that's what we call a hate crime. Where somebody leaves Islam, becomes a Christian, and then he gets attacked. He tries to go to the police, and the police are so brain dead in this area, it seems like,
they just shut down. It's not exactly that they're brain dead. They know the response. You just know. We don't deal with it.
Right.
In the end, 8 armed officers had to escort him. He had to flee his home. The police had information that somebody was about to shoot him. 8 armed officers had to escort him out of Bradford. Why is this happening in the UK.
Why is it happening that you would need a police escort because you were a Christian and you're leaving? You can't leave the Muslim community. That's huge.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, as far as Christians go, you lead any church. People lead church all the time. It's what you do. You just don't like your church, you just leave.
The problem is that they live in communities. So it's not like we all keep, well, why couldn't they just like walk out and leave? Well, guess what? You could just walk out and leave.
It's a gang.
But are you going to be able to pack and take your stuff?
Right.
If you start packing a U-Haul, everybody in that community is going to come after you. You'd have to leave by the cover of night and not take any of your possessions with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is like leaving a communist country or something like that.
Let's see. I want to find...
Killed. Every time our children are killed, our parliament responds by protecting the religion that killed them. We've had enough of this.
Every time the children are killed, the parliament responds by protecting the people that killed them. It just makes sense. And there's a news story actually I wanted to bring to you. I was trying to find, there was an update, Patriot Gallery had watched it. Do you remember us telling you about the 3 boys who raped the little girl in the guy who runs the yogurt factory, the Chiobani?
Yeah.
Seems to be an underlying theme where judges let rapists go, and the new theme is that they let Islamist rapists go. I mean, it's huge in the UK. I couldn't cover them all.
Nowhere.
They're out in like a year or two. They're raping again. They're doing crazy things again. But in Idaho, 3 young refugee boys raped a little girl, and we're going to bring you that. The judge is letting them go. It's super sad. And I want to bring her back to this video here where this guy, he goes on to say, listen, we can only stay with Tommy as long as you behave yourselves. So just behave yourselves. That's what I'm trying to tell you people.
Those children were killed for one reason, and that reason is Sharia law. Sharia law is a killing machine. Islam is a killing machine.
All Pakistani Christians are with Tommy because he's holding against the evil.
It's a Pakistani Christian, and he's saying we're standing with Tommy because he stands against evil.
Because we are in Pakistan minority, and when we come here and see the government and the church leaders are silent, we are minority here. But the person God raised, somebody who against the evil, who's standing for everyone, not just for all these people.
You can just imagine, I mean, Tommy is a hero for like a minority of people. The people who aren't being killed or having acid thrown in their faces, they're not feeling it.
Exactly.
So that's why today I'm here with you to tell you, I am with you. Britain will be saved from every evil. And God bless England, God bless Tommy. I want to say this. I'm standing here with Tommy. Dean is standing here with Tommy as well. But we can only stand with Tommy as long as you behave yourselves. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I also want to say this. What has created all this? I'll tell you what's created all this. Men from my community, men from my Pakistani community who decided to rape white girls because they're white girls. That's what causes community tensions. This is a response to that. 28 times I've been identified, and I guarantee you there's a lot more. When I heard about this grooming of the white girls, not only the white girls, there's been also Sikh girls groomed, and the horrendous torture that these young girls went through. The things that went through my mind that I wanted to do to these men, but I had to stop. I had to stop and think for myself, is this the right approach? No, it's not. Hate for hate does not answer the question. We must respond in peace. Always in peace. What happened here? What happened here angered me. Almost to the point of hatred. But I needed to put my attitude right. I cannot respond hate with hate.
Isn't that like so key? I mean, that is the fine line that you have to walk.
Right.
Because A lot of people are like, well, if I can't do anything about it, then I don't even want to think about it. And a lot of people are like, well, you know what? I get really angry, and then you can't become the anti-fascist. You can't become the violent terrorists or whatever.
And you can't just put your head in the sand.
Exactly. You have to find that line, and I believe it comes from, you know, having, the Bible says be angry, but sin not, and having a righteous anger to where you can stand up within yourselves and make a stance without going to...
It also says that the anger of man does not work the righteousness of God.
Right, exactly. So, just to go over a couple more
tweets.
Yeah, so... Of course, the BBC, the Gays Against Sharia march branded Islamophobic will be picketed by the LGBT activists. An event organized by Gays Against Sharia to mark the anniversary of the Orlando shooting has been branded divisive and Islamophobic. The organizers of the United Against Hate March, set to take place in Manchester, and this is what I kind of give you a background. Say they organized the event to honor the victims of hate, including the 49 people who lost their lives at Pulse, a gay club in Orlando, Florida, at the hands of an Islamic terrorist.
A year ago tomorrow.
But obviously, there was a lot more. Now, of course, there were some anti-demonstrators, so I want to show you that in a second. But one of the organizers, Tommy, a fellow traveler of Tommy Robinson's and former leader of the English Defence League's LGBT group, who now runs Gays Against Sharia. Opponents have seized upon his presence to claim the march is nothing but a front for far-right Islamophobes. Pink News quotes Sam Bjorn as saying, as LGBT plus people, we won't stand idly by as far-right bigots like the EDL attempt to use our rights as a weapon against people from the Muslim community, when groups like the EDL are preying on tragedy, blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing. It's not about being far right. It's not about being a bigot, okay? It's about coming against something that is obviously, what was it? He said like 28 communities that have these grooming gangs. I mean, seriously.
It makes total sense for the LGBT community to come out against Sharia, because they are, Sharia law and the Muslims are homophobic.
Right. Well, 10 countries in which homosexuality is punishable by death are Afghanistan, Iran, Mauritania, I have never even heard of that country, Nigeria, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, and the United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. Okay, so...
Mauritania.
Exactly. So I wanted to bring you this. Police warn people to stay away from Piccadilly Gardens as protest turns nasty. Craziness, Antifa going on there. Police were urging people to stay away from Piccadilly Gardens as a protest in the city turns nasty. So you had the Antifa.
There were 8 arrests made
there in the UK as well. Let's see, demonstrators overpower police in Manchester city centre. So you had the police holding back, you know,
the line between the two groups.
And I wanted to bring you this. This is actually in America. 16-year-old lesbian against radical Islam and anti-LGBT politicians. She was there. And then what was interesting in America, back to our March Against Sharia law, I want to show you this. All kinds of commie flags. I just don't understand why they say you can't be a Nazi or a fascist, but it's okay to be a communist. I wanted to show you this. Just actual regular people, you know, gays and women are beaten and murdered under Sharia law. Education, not mutilation. You know what? I'm cool with that. I think that's really important. So these people are standing up. They want to stand up for something. They're doing a good job. So, you know, love does conquer hate, but, you know, sometimes the truth is, you gotta have the truth.
A lot of times I ask the question, even to myself, what is the point of all of these protests and riots and things like that? You know, why do the anti-Sharia? Why have the gays speaking out against Sharia law and things like that? What good does it do? Well, it brings awareness.
Right.
And I hate that word because it sounds so cliche and stupid, but it's, many people don't know. They literally are living in blissful ignorance that things like female genital mutilation even exist. They don't understand what Sharia law is. So by having these kinds of protests, it causes people to just go online and ask the questions. What is Sharia law? And you guys might be here at our video today because you were looking for that answer. You know, and so if you didn't see our other video, and we talk about this all the time, Sharia law strips rights from women, almost all human rights from women. They're treated as second-class citizens, and even more than that, homosexuals can be killed. If you leave the Muslim faith, you can be killed. There's so much to it. It's really deep, and you can find that in other videos that we've covered, but you need to find the answers and why this is so important. Alright, you guys, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks channel. Don't forget to find us on Facebook and Twitter and VidMe. That's the alternative, or one of them, to YouTube. So you can find us there, and find us in Bozeman, Montana, June 23rd and 24th for the Red Pill Expo. We're going to be there, and we want to see you guys there too. We're going to be taking Resistance Chicks on the road that entire week. We will be in Glacier National Park and just kind of on the road bringing you guys the news from Montana. Hopefully we'll see you there. God bless.
I was cold all alone, no place for home, every day so afraid, but you called me.